We've spent the last 3 years travelling Europe and Turkey in our camper van, but now it's time for some new horizons. We've just shipped our van and our dogs from the UK all the way to Canada, ready for the road trip of a lifetime as we travel across the Americas and down to Argentina. Welcome to the first episode. Canada! Okay, so if you follow us on Instagram or seen the YouTube community post, you'll have seen that this has been a really difficult summer for us. Unfortunately, back in June, I lost my dad, and that is why we haven't been posting for the past 2 months. But there's more detail in those posts, so I won't go into too much detail here. But somehow, in all of that chaos, we managed to ship ourselves, the van, and the dogs all over to Canada. We are now in Halifax and we are ready to start the road trip of a lifetime.
And before you ask, we will definitely be doing a video on how we shipped the van, how we flew us, how we flew the dogs, but that'll be coming later.
But for now, we are in a place called St. Margaret's Bay, just outside of Halifax. This is where the road trip begins. We're on a little dog walk this morning. And yeah, Canada, baby! Let's go.
Oh guys, take a look at this. We've reached, I think, the highest point of this walk, and look at the mist. It's Jess there flying the drone. It's been, what, nothing less than 25 degrees?
No, it's been amazing.
It's been beautiful, but in the mornings here, because we're on the coast, it's like eerie, misty pirates coming in fog.
Ghost ships.
Ghost ships coming in fog. And then obviously by the afternoon it burns off.
I'm using the trusty All Trails app for this walk, and if we didn't have it, we would be so lost, because this track just weaves in and out of this. I don't know if you can see, most of the landscape here is like this low bilberry bush mixed in with these kind of stunted pine trees and then loads of boulders. And the track goes onto the boulders and then goes off it in random places, and then we'll suddenly take a switch back, and you would be so lost on here if you were just trying to follow the trail, because yeah, I think a lot of these are animal tracks as well. But wow, what a surreal landscape. Pretty hefty bogs here.
What about if you cut across there?
Yeah, actually someone's put a path through here.
Go on, buddy.
River's found it as usual. Whoa, look how thick. Oh, it looks like chocolate fudge. Yeah. Just want to jump in it. Come on this way. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you our first Canadian wild camp right next to this baseball field. We were going to park right next to that hiking trail we went on this morning. There's a car park just over the road there, but that had zero signal, so we came here instead. And actually, it's really nice because we've got our own little spot tucked away into the bushes there. We are quite near the road, so it's a little bit noisy, but it's a really nice little spot just to get us started. And we are just 5 minutes away from Peggy's Cove, which is probably one of the most famous spots in the whole of Nova Scotia. We can't come here without going there. It's this really famous, beautiful cove with this lighthouse, apparently the most photographed lighthouse in Canada. So we're going to make our way over there now. May or may not sleep there tonight, and may or may not have cheeky fish and chips while we're there. Even though we've driven on the other side of the road throughout Europe over the past 2 or 3 years, it's actually a bit of an adjustment driving over here on the other side of the road, because it feels a lot different than Europe. The road markings are completely different, and there's some little obscure differences in road rules that we don't have back home. You can turn right on a red light if it's clear and stuff like that. So it's not been drastically different, but it definitely has felt like a little bit of an adjustment, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, yeah.
Well, Sunday evenings are the time to visit Peggy's Cove, apparently. It is very busy. We're just coming down into Peggy's Cove now.
It's windy.
It's windy, but it's such a beautiful little seaside village. Reminds me quite a lot of Cornwall, like just this like tiny little cove, strong sea breeze, seagulls in the air.
Behind
There's
me.
the lighthouse of Peggy's Cove, what everybody comes here to see.
Wow. Woohoo! If I'd hair, it'd be going everywhere.
Fishermen's cottages, lobster pots and the raging Atlantic Ocean, Peggy's Cove is one of the most famous landmarks in Nova Scotia. Despite its serene appearance, Peggy's Cove has seen its fair share of tragedies, many people swept out to sea from the rogue waves that crash on the rocks. The lighthouse here is a symbol of the connection to the sea that runs through the blood of every local here. That was just absolute chaos.
What a weight that was. Go, go, go.
We got fish and chips.
Oh, the big reveal.
Oh no, I literally opened it the wrong way.
Oh, ready?
My.
Oh, I'm glad I got 2 bits.
Out of 10?
10 out of 10 for the fish. It's just really light and not greasy at all.
The hammock up. This is like number 1 thing when you get to the campsite is find a spot for the hammock.
Okay, so this is where we stayed last night. This is the information centre car park. There's one other camper over there, a couple there from last night. In total there was probably about 7 or 8 of us here last night. Very, very peaceful night's sleep. Today's a bit of an admin day really. We have got to go and get some food, we've got to go to the laundrette, and most importantly we need to find a camera repair shop, because I don't know if some of you may have noticed on yesterday's clips, but there is a lot of dirt on my camera sensor. There's like little speckles everywhere. It's getting really bad, so we need to get that fixed as a priority while we're near the city. So that's the first job today.
Back to Halifax.
So yeah, back to the city. So we're driven out to this like industrial estate. Come to, what's it called? Atlantic Photo Supply. Let's see if they can clean my sensor for me.
Hello.
Hello.
That was really quick.
Well, when I rang their other branch,
Yeah.
they said, oh, it'll probably take a few days, we need to send it off. And I think what they meant was they send it off here.
Yeah.
And he said he hasn't done a Sony one before, but he was like, you could see the dirt on the sensor just from looking at it.
Right.
And he said he's going to have a look, and he knows when a camper van, so he'll try and get it done in the next half an hour or so.
Hello, all good?
Afterwards, he's like, oh, before you go, and he gave me a sensor cleaner, and he gave me some lens cleaning tissues.
So we need to keep them.
I will keep on top of it. It's my fault. I know it needed to be done. I just never did it.
Cool.
So
Ready?
Right, now, food shop. So one thing we're finding out about Canada is just how expensive the food is. I think it's naturally expensive anyway, and then Nova Scotia is expensive, and then obviously there's a cost of living crisis going on everywhere at the minute. So food prices are definitely on the steep side. We've put like meal plans in place to make sure that we're not wasting any food, which we do have a tendency to do sometimes. So yeah, food shops are quite expensive. What we thought we'd do on this trip, which I know a lot of you will be interested in, is we're going to do a monthly breakdown of our costs and our outgoings while we've been on the trip. So that goes for everything from food and fuel to the dogs to like attractions and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, I'm going to be sending it out in a newsletter at the beginning of each month. And yeah, I'm going to pop a link in the description where you can sign up for that. And I think it'll be quite interesting to see how the costs vary and change as we go on through the trip. So yeah, but definitely food is going to be a high one this month for sure.
Well, this isn't bad, is it?
That's
This will
nice.
do for the night. We found this place that's just what, about an hour's west from where we were?
Yes, yeah.
And it's a private little beach, but you can stay on it, which is perfect. But yeah, it's quiet. People come in here, sort of...
What are the dogs?
People are coming to walk their dogs. We saw a deer earlier come through the bushes. So I think it'll be perfect for the night. Okay, babes. What are your first impressions of Canada like?
My first impressions of Canada?
Yes, yeah.
It's really big. It's really big. And beautiful.
I thought we were talking about Canada, not me. Sorry.
And
we've been to Turkey, we've been all over Europe.
One of the biggest things is the people are so friendly. I know it's a bit of a stereotype that like Canadians are really polite and really friendly, but they genuinely are like the most friendly people that we've probably ever met. Like, I feel like we could make like 100 best friends by the time we leave Nova Scotia alone, don't you?
That's true. Like everybody just stops and just says, hi, how are you?
And despite the fact that Canada is really beautiful, no one tells you that you might not be alive to see it because you're going to get eaten to death by the mosquitoes. My ankles have literally doubled in size. I've got cankles. I've got Canadian ankles. Look. I've got in this freezer this flannel, which I've had on my feet every day for the past 5 days to stop the itching and swelling from all of the mosquito bites.
Well, you had a spider bite as well, didn't you? And your foot like literally swelled up to twice the size.
Oh, it was awful. I'm going to go back just 2 stumps. Just put the dogs down for a quick walk to the beach, and in just like, what, 2 hours, a sea mist has just come in so thick. Can't see across the road, can't even see this little boat anchored in the bay.
And it is so quiet. It's like out of some sort of horror film.
Yeah, it's very still and eerie.
The fog is rolling into the sea.
That's one thing we've noticed while we've been here on the east coast, is the sea mist that comes in the morning and afternoon, and sometimes you can literally just watch it rolling in. Even in Halifax in the city, it was just so thick. Good morning. Slept really well here last night. Such a peaceful night's sleep. The mist has cleared this morning, and I think the plan is to continue heading west, continue heading down to the southwest. Is it like the most southwesterly point?
Yeah, pretty much before we start looping
we start looping back around again. So continue on the south coast, see what we can find along the way.
Before we do anything this morning, our first stop is we really need to do laundry. We've been here for over a week now, and we're starting to run out of everything. So, first stop, what's it called? Mr. Water Wash?
Water Market.
Water Market. I don't know where I got Mr. Water Wash from. Do not know. So we're going to the Water Market laundry. It's only about a 15-minute drive. Get that done, and then we can move on for the rest of the day.
Your destination is on the right.
Oh, if it is. Oh.
So we also need water, and we've just seen the sign saying RV fill up, ask for assistance, which looks like a water tap. So if that's the case, that would be perfect. So that's the laundry on. It's quite busy in there, so I don't film too much, but it was just like a basic laundrette, nice and easy, and they're really friendly in there. Okay.
Half an hour, you say?
Let's go. Hello.
Buddy.
Right, laundry done. Let's get on the road. So that was really handy for laundry and water. It was $7.50 for the washer and the dryer, and then $5 for the water, which wasn't bad at all.
And now we're parked up in a rough-looking car park.
It doesn't look rough. It's just
The
a bit out of town.
Lunenburg Curling Club.
Lunenburg Curling Club.
That's where we're...
Lunenburg's meant to be a really pretty town on the south coast, so we're going to have a quick look and just have a quick stroll before we head further west. It's really pretty with these amazing like colourful buildings lining the shore, and then all of these docks with these old school sailboats on them. A lot of them you can take out for cruises, and one of them is out sailing right now and it looks amazing. Oh, it's so cool. It has such, you can tell it's like such a shipbuilder's place. Then there's so many shipbuilders workshops everywhere. It's still very much a working town.
That was very tongue twister. It's like the set of the Goonies, even though that's in Oregon, I think. It is literally like that. It's that sort of village, and there's pirate ships everywhere. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you never really watched it, do you?
Lunenburg is a rum-running, shipbuilding, maritime UNESCO World Heritage Site full of colourful 18th century buildings and is the home of the famous sailing vessel Bluenose, which has a personal touch for Ben.
What's even more special is that when my dad was in the Navy years and years ago, he came to Halifax and he sailed on the Bluenose, like when he was off ship.
The Bluenose was a racing schooner and was so famous that it became a symbol of Canada and was known as Queen of the Atlantic. We were lucky enough to watch the Bluenose 2 sail back to the docks, the very same one that Ben's dad sailed on all those years ago. Got some good photos for your dad?
Yes, I do. I'm going to send them in a minute.
Well, that was a little bit of a longer break in Lunenburg than we thought.
100% worth it.
Yeah, such a cool little town, and it was really awesome to see the Bluenose come in. It was built in Lunenburg, and it's like the most famous ship in Canada. I think it's like on the Canadian Dive, or it used to be. But yeah, it's huge, isn't it?
It was massive. It was amazing to see.
Yeah, it was awesome. But now we're going to continue west. We're heading along the south coast of Nova Scotia. See where we end up.
Trees as far as the eye can see.
Well done, baby.
Reminds you of the video game and film Silent Hill. You know, when you go in mist and the bell sign, it flips to like a different world. There's a big pointed head thing.
Yeah, it's horrible.
That's what it feels like.
Yep, the mist has descended again.
Sorry, scared. Okay. Oh, there's the lighthouse. Wow, that crept out of nowhere, didn't it?
Oh, there's another camper. Is this the one?
This is the one.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Can you hear the waves?
Yeah, because the sea's right there.
Yeah, I know, but it's loud, and there was like a ship horn going off then. It's not.
You know, that was loud, isn't it?
What was that?
It's the foghorn. It's not a ship. It's there.
That's what you sound like when you snore. A foghorn. I've never heard one or seen one in real life. Holy shit.
It's loud. I walked around the corner and it went off. I was like, oh. I'm just thinking it just goes on, you know, the hours of 8 till 5. That's going to go off all night. Well, as long as there's fog, we're going to hear. So there might be a bit of an interrupted sleep.
I've not slept next to a foghorn before. Apparently the last one to sound in the UK was back in the 80s. There's no working foghorns in the UK. But this one was going off every 15 seconds until 5 o'clock this morning. And I think the mist comes in every evening, so tonight's going to be another fun night. There are 160 lighthouses in Nova Scotia. You can actually do a lighthouse route, which follows like some of the most, I don't know, famous and picturesque ones along the south coast. There are 5,000 known shipwrecks off Nova Scotia. The waters around here must be so treacherous. But this one is Baccaro Lighthouse, and we're on the most southerly point of mainland Nova Scotia with epic views all around us. We don't want to leave despite the foghorn. So I was just editing, and those shots that I got in the forest yesterday when we were driving, when I landed the drone, I had to get out of the van to catch it because of all the trees.
I'm having somebody pouring at me here. I'm like, hello.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to get out, and I thought the mosquitoes were bad where we'd been. Wait until you go into the middle of the forest. I was literally like swarmed, and I've got a video of me. I have my hat on and this came off, this little bit of the hat. So I've got this in my mouth, I have my hat. I was trying to land the drone one-handed and not crash into the trees, and I'm just here, just like go mad trying to waft all of the mozzies away because I was getting attacked. So next week we're heading up to the north coast of Nova Scotia. So we shall catch you guys then. Bye! River says bye. Ruff.